Good Saturday morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We've already got off to a rocket start here on this Saturday, April the 26th, 2025. We switched microphones around so I can now hear perfectly on this fourth Saturday, and going to have a jammed house here before we get really rolling. But right now, the webmaster himself is here, Guy Trebo.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Guy.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, too. And then, of course, we're going to have, we're waiting momentarily, Marty Roberts from Sporting Life Kennels down in Oxford, Mississippi, is going to be arriving very soon. We'll have him. David Beal will talk fishing with us. David will be in the studio also, and we're going to try to hook up with David a few more times. And then later in the show, Bob Ford is going to drop by the studio and give us an update on the 12th annual Hatchie Bird Fest going up at Brownsville, Tennessee this weekend. So busy show. I'm looking forward to not only talking puppies with Marty Roberts and some other things we can talk about, Marty. A regular feature we're going to start now. It's called David and David, D&D, Fish Talk with David Best and David Beal. And then we're going to have the champion himself, not just one time, not just two times, not just three times. We're going to talk to Dustin Connell, the 2025 Red Crest champion for Major League Fishing. And I know we'll talk with Dustin not only about his victory, but about memories of Ron Wong, because I know Ron predicted that Dustin would win, which we always do here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. It happens that way. And then, of course, we're going to close out today's show. Guy, a big event is coming back to Memphis.
DU Expo.
Yes, coming back after 3 years in Texas. Come August, it's going to be down at the Renaissance Center, and I'm looking forward to the DU Expo, which they talk about is going to be awesome with over 250 vendors. And we're going to talk to Logan Nevins. He is the DU manager of national events. But we're going to have a fun time on today's show. We've had a lot of rain during the week. It's been a rainy time. But I know the website, LarryRay.com, just rolls on. Right, Guy?
Yes, it does. A lot of things featured here.
What we got?
We do have a story, the story about Dustin Connell and his win at the Red Crest. Also, we've got some new product from Mossberg.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I love their stuff.
Yes.
And also a great article that I picked up off of actually DU's website from Scott Laseth, who is their cooking editor.
Yes, he is. We know Scott.
Great article about grilling, what to do, 5 tips for grilling duck and goose.
Well, we're going to have to get Scott back on the show to talk about that. That's on the website.
Yeah.
We got all the links. DU has got a link on there. Of course, the Arkansas Game and Fish.
Also,
TWRA.
Just want to mention this very quickly.
Yeah.
If you missed the tribute to Ron Wong last week,
yes,
it is on it's on the site now. So if you want to go back and listen to that, that was a
22 guests. I think we broke the record, right, Shelby McCall?
Oh, we could have had a lot more too.
Well, I know it. But I was so concerned to get 22 on.
Yeah.
Well, we could have had 100 at least.
Yeah.
With people that wanted to be on it. I am still compiling all of the tributes to Ron that I was sent during that trying time. It's been a little over a month now. And, of course, we do know the funeral, the celebration of Ron's life is coming up next Friday, a week from tomorrow, May the 2nd, at Memorial Park Funeral Home.
And the details are that obituary and
the
details of that are on the website. If you go to the menu, to the far right of the menu, it says obituary for Ron Wong, and it's got all the information on it.
Yeah, we really want to keep in prayers, not on the Wong family. Boy, they've had a double tragedy. That Peanut Kwan's, who is Ron's cousin, well, his wife Connie lost her brother last weekend to an ATV accident down in Olive Branch, and he was a Olive Branch policeman for more than 2 decades. And so our thoughts and our prayers go out to Connie and the Kwan family, still dealing with Ron's loss, and now Connie's got to deal with the loss of her brother, so unexpected like. But, it's a busy time. We got the turkey season is going on now. I'm hoping to go next week. My new shotgun from Mossberg should be coming in pretty soon, and looking forward to hunting with Sammy Beal, working on that if everything works right. But and I see that Mr. Beal is coming in now. He is making his presence. He's in full armor with all of his equipment and everything.
All right, I'm going to go let him in.
Yeah, David, one of y'all let him in, but both of you don't let him in. That leaves me alone in here, and I get kind of scared. But it's dark on Saturday morning sometimes. But good Saturday, all you folks in Brownsville on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM, every Saturday from 6 to 7:30. And, of course, in Jackson on News Talk 101.5 FM. From 6:30 to 8, and, of course, right here in Memphis on the Odyssey family of stations, 790 AM from 9 to 10:30 every Saturday morning as we roll into our 25th year on the air. And it's going to be a fun show. I've tried to break it up a little bit, and you're talking about a lot of bases. We touch them on Outdoors with Larry Ray when you can talk about kennels and puppies and talk about the website and talk a little fishing, because I understand it's going to be in the upper 80s next week, and he is here. He ain't got his hat on. I didn't recognize him over there. Okay, he's got hatless. Hey, David Beal.
Hey.
All right. Can we hear David? Yeah, we hear David, don't we?
Y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Okay, David. Appreciate it. And we're going to start something, David, I'd like to do once a month. I want you in the station at least once a month.
Yes,
we can work it out with you and do what I call D&D Fish Talk.
Beautiful.
With you two Davids, David Best and you, David Beal.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to start that this morning. We'll get that in a little while about, let's see, that's the third segment. And appreciate David. David, you got some big shoes to fill.
I'm ready.
You realize that, don't you?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
It's hard to, fill in for Ron Wong.
Well, his shoes were about a size 7, so
I think David's a lot bigger than that, okay? I'm pretty sure of that. He's got on a lot more equipment over there as a Shelby County.
That would be extremely difficult shoes to fill.
Yeah, it would be. And he always wore out them tennis shoes. That's what Ron
right.
did.
He sure did.
And here comes Marty. So we're going to have a full house in when Marty gets in here from Sporting Life Kennels, and we got a lot of stories to tell about from Marty from his days growing up with his dad, Ace Roberts, who I bought one of my first houses from. And we're going to get Marty in here and talk to him. But fun show as we get right down to it. Well, I think Marty came in, then Marty left. But Guy will get him. He may think he's not here, but he's on time and everything. But I know you're busy. David, let's give a little bit, because this weather, we're getting some good weather. I mean, we're getting some rain.
Yes.
But the temperatures are going into almost 90 next week. So give me a hint on what's going on fishing-wise.
I can tell you a little bit of it.
What?
Right now, it's going to be really good. It's really warming up really good. Now, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
These a lot of these females probably going to bend the drop. They're probably going to drop after this rain. They're not going to drop their eggs right now because the water's still high.
Yeah.
They're going to probably wait until that water recedes and get back down in the beds.
Okay.
Nature just have a way of letting the fish know when to drop the eggs.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, you still have some that's going to push those big females to come up there late in the year and spawn late.
Okay.
And, believe it or not, you'll have some of them spawning late. Because of that.
Well, and the water temperature too. I
Yes.
mean, it's jumped. It's going to not jump maybe, but it's going to move up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the temperatures. But hey, we do have Marty Roberts in the studio.
I think y'all are talking crappie right now.
We're just talking fishing right now, Marty, and we're going to hook you up. You're going to be using that microphone. David Beal, this is Marty Roberts.
How you doing?
You need to meet people right in the studio. We have things happen like that. Marty is with Sporting Life Kennels out of Oxford, Mississippi, and we're going to talk to Marty. He's come all the way up from Oxford. I'm sure he's going to charge me gas mileage, but I'll let him take that up with my bosses here if he wants to do that. Thank you, Marty, for being here. This is where we are, Marty, every week for 90 minutes, right here on Outdoors with Larry. Marty's been on the show with us. He's a busy man to track down. I mean, he's got a schedule to meet up with and everything, but I'm going to devote, when we get right back after our first break, we're going to talk to Marty specifically during that second segment about what he does, about his, really he's living the dream, I think, because I've known Marty since he was a kid, and we'll tell the story about that. We always tell it, Marty. You know that. You know where it's going to start at Catfish Point, okay? I can't help it, Marty. That's just the way it's going to start. But Marty's parents, including his dad, Ace, was one of my dearest friends. And I bought a house from you, Dad. You know that. Who hadn't bought a house from Ace Roberts, the late Ace Roberts? But we're going to talk to Marty about that, and we're going to talk fishing as we go along through this. But I'm really looking forward to talking to Dustin Connell, too. He really wanted to be on this show. It's not often you get a man that just won $300,000, and he works in his schedule for you because he wants to talk about winning the Red Crest Major League Fishing Championship. He wants to talk about Ron Wong, the late Ron Wong, and how Ron would have been there to see Dustin win that fourth championship and go over $2 million in earnings. That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's just chump change.
Huh? How about that? You take that, wouldn't you, David Beal?
Every day.
Every day. That's a long way from McKellar, David. I'm telling you, okay?
Every day.
Yeah, them fruit jars and things along that line. Let's take our first break. Marty's in the house now. All right, Shelby McCall is our show producer. She's going to push all the buttons. We've already got off to a great start. So let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 25th year on the air on this fourth Saturday. We got a full house here. Of course, the guy Trebo is sitting in with us, webmaster for LarryRay.com. And they've got to spell it correctly, right? It won't go R-A-Y. They've got to spell it R-E-A. Some people said, I can't find your website. We spell it correctly here. It's R-E-A, Larry, R-E-A.com. He's shaking his head. If you hear
I mean, 25 years in, I mean, if they hadn't figured that out.
That is true. That is. We have a lot of new people, though.
Okay.
David Beal sitting over there. Hillbilly. Hey, man. All right, we're going to talk a little fishing with David through the show today. But right now, we got memory time here. He's still just a teenager. It seems like it to me, but I'm so proud of this young man for what he's doing. I know his dad would be proud of him. I'm proud of him, and that's Marty Roberts of Sporting Life Kennels in Oxford, Mississippi. A good Saturday morning, Marty, and you and I can share some memories, but you brought me something. Tell the listeners what you brought me.
Well, I brought you a turkey call.
Yes. Yeah.
I made it. I started playing around with some this year.
Uh-huh.
And
can you make a little music for me? I mean,
yeah, let me I'm going to take these headphones off so I can hear.
Oh, okay, that's fine. We're just making sure you.
Yeah, so basically, Larry, what I did was I've got an old tobacco tin.
An old tobacco tin. Okay.
And I got some anodized aluminum.
Okay. Yeah.
That we put down in here.
Uh-huh.
And I started playing with it this year. And I like it because it's got sort of an metallic sound.
Stand up over there, Marty. I can't see you. I'm only 5'4".
Okay.
You're 6'7".
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's.
All right.
All right. Do it. Do it for us. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's got sort of a metallic sound.
It does. It does.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Uh-huh. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Let me see if I can get a better spot.
Love it. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what that is. That's to a female turkey, that's love. That's love. There you go. Thank you, Marty. Now, are you doing that on the side? Or
No.
This is from me?
Making it for my friends, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, sit down now, friend.
It pops in your pocket, you know.
Well, sit down there, friend, and we'll take a picture of that and
I'll
post
show
it.
you how to use it later.
Yeah. We'll take a picture of that and post it on our webpage that Marty's done that because really Marty's one of the first people that ever take me turkey hunting.
Well, I think I was.
I think you were, and actually you didn't really take me. You took
Justin Worley.
Justin Worley,
and you went along, but now that first hunt,
yes,
Justin was 9.
Was he 9? That's why you carried
9.
him instead of me? Okay,
yeah,
I was wondering.
I carried him
through the swamps. Catfish Point.
Yeah. Over my shoulders.
Yes.
Across the creek. We had 3 gobblers just going at it.
And I'm trailing.
You're trailing.
Yeah.
And Justin ended up getting mud in the end of his barrel.
Yes, he did.
Because he tripped.
Yes, he did.
9.
Yeah.
So I said, well, you're out. You're not shooting. Larry, you're on.
What are you laughing about over there?
And so
the end of this story.
I had a 9-year-old that wasn't real happy, but we had 3 birds.
Yeah, we did.
Just hammering.
Yeah.
I think it was your first turkey hunt.
It was my first turkey hunt. Yeah.
For your first turkey hunt, we had 3 birds hammering.
Yeah.
Crossed the creek.
Yes,
I mean, it was the real deal.
Yeah.
Wading through water.
Yeah.
They came in. They flew down together, came in from 15 yards strutting.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing.
My shirt
but
was twitching.
I messed up because
you're going to admit this now. Okay.
I did not have you set up right.
Oh, thank you.
You should have had your
yes
gun on your shoulder ready to go, and
yeah.
I didn't set you up, so you had it in your lap.
I had it in my lap, which is the story of my life.
And they...
But I was ruined from then on, though.
Yeah, they strutted around for, 15, 20
at
minutes?
Least 15.
And then I let them walk because I didn't want to take a chance of crippling one.
Yes.
But what a great show. What a way to start.
Yeah. I wrote about that and down there, and, of course, he carried Justin, and now Justin is now 6'4", a former punter, college punter and everything, and he and his brother Daniel, and I can't imagine I don't think Marty would carry Justin right now.
No,
I don't think so, but he can still carry me. I know that for a fact.
Justin's a big boy.
He's a big boy, but what a memory! And then to get where you are now. Marty, tell our listeners a little bit about Sporting Life. I want to get that story because that means so much to me.
Yeah.
And my relationship to your dad and all the folks that I don't know how many times I duck hunted with Ace and Ernie and all the great gang there. But you're really doing something right now that is special in the Mid-South. Talk about it.
Well, thank you. So, I think so you and I met back in the 80s at Ernie Worley's
duck
during the duff shoots and whatnot.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was probably a teenager.
You
and
were.
Then I had a dog named Jim Bob.
Jim Bob,
I had gotten from a local couple, and I tell people Jim Bob changed my life because it lit a passion in me for training and for labs.
Yeah.
And so I really, in Johnny Tortera, and my dad had lit the fire for duck hunting. And so the two of them came together, and it just really stamped me. And that's who I am, And so through the early years, I was training just as a hobby, and just fell in love with it. Wanted to go professional when in my 20s, but I didn't have the place, didn't have the money to do it. And we didn't have, we didn't have the social media, we didn't have internet, we didn't have ways to really market.
That's right. Yeah.
So I went into home building with my father and loved it, and then went out on my own, loved it, a general contractor for a long time, but in the back of my mind, I always wanted to be training dogs.
Yeah.
So in 2008, when we had the construction crisis, really just the economy in general kind of tanked out, I was like, I want to do something, I want to do what I always wanted to do.
That's good.
And so I dove in both hands and both feet, I should say.
Yeah.
And
it
went from there, and it was a very scary time. Cause
it had to be.
The first year, I didn't pay myself anything. And we were living on savings, and I was training dogs, and I was walking out in the rain, heeling dogs around in the rain, and I remember thinking, what have you done?
Yeah. Yeah.
But God's grace,
that's right.
I feel like his hand was on this.
Yes,
and,
it was.
has just really directed us and grown this really wonderful little kennel. And, we've got clients really across the country.
You do, yeah.
And it's been a huge blessing for us.
42 acres, 3 training lakes, 2 large hay fields, and training woods, and but mostly, and you're dealing with a variety of retrievers and puppies. I mean, could I call you the puppy man? I mean, you have a way with puppies. I mean,
well, I'm going to take this back off. I'd rather do it without it. So I do love puppies. I was up last night 2 different times. I was bottle feeding one puppy. And
bottle feeding puppies. How about that?
Letting the moms out to go outside to relieve themselves. And checking on the other ones and going back to sleep. But, so we've developed a breeding program down there where we have gone over to Ireland and England, Scotland.
Wow.
And brought these special little dogs back and kind of created something I call our lines of dogs. I say they're calm but ready. So
calm but ready. I think I saw that in your website. Calm but ready, meaning that we want a ton of desire and focus and drive for retrieval, but also we want a dog with an off switch.
That's it, man. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, and I'm looking for the balance, and so that's what we strive to produce, and there again, God's grace. I mean, I think for the large part we've done that. Nothing's perfect.
You keep saying we now, so you got this is a team.
It's
right?
A team.
Yeah, tell about your team.
My wife has been such a blessing to me, and she has backed me up on this.
And her name? Tell them now.
Molly Roberts.
Is her name. Okay. Yeah.
So when I say we, it's she and I, but also I have a team of
yes, you do.
Primarily college students that through the years have worked for me, Ole Miss students. And I've had really lifelong friends that have come from this, but we. Well,
you got a couple.
When I say
minutes.
We, I'm talking about
I just want to make sure effort. That you included her, and Marty's going to stick around for a while on the show. We're going to work him in and out, but you really need to go to his website. What is that? Sporting Life. What is it?
SportingLifeKennels.com.
Because it's a beautiful website. Yeah, we need to put a kicker on there for people to go to Marty's website. It tells about how God has planned his work through him, the beautiful facility he has. Even for a Razorback, I can handle it.
Hey man, it's
beautiful.
Still SEC. So.
Yeah, it is, and I've got to tell my neighbor across the street, who is the biggest Ole Miss fan I've ever seen. He just got back from the Masters, but I'll have to tell Ian about we featured Oxford on here if you get down to it. But thank you, Marty. Hang on.
Okay.
We're going to keep you involved in this. We're not going to let you come up here for 15 minutes. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But we're going to switch gears in just a minute. Turn it over to Fishman. He's over there now. He really is going to talk to us. Get David Best on the line. Just starting a new thing right here. And we're going to work on this segment. This is going to be one of our highlight segments each month when we bring D&D, David and David, in with us. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Rays. We talk outdoors, what we call the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. Every Saturday morning, you can get us in Brownsville on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. And we'll be talking about that because we're going to be focusing on Brownsville here on the next segment after this, but also in News Talk 101.5 in Jackson, Tennessee. And, of course, right here in Memphis, every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30 on AM 790. We appreciate Marty Roberts of Sporting Life Kennels joining us in studio. Brought me a gift. Boy, I can't wait to toy with that thing. I'm going to drive my wife crazy now. But we're going to talk a little fishing right now. It's fish time with a new segment. We're going to kick off on today's show. We're calling it David and David, D&D. It's David Best and David Beal. I can't think of two better guys to talk fishing. It takes two men to fill the shoes of our late Ron Wong. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate both these guys stepping up on what we always called on this 4 Saturday, BW was Bonus Wong. And don't forget, folks, that funeral for Ron will be next Friday, May the 2nd at 1 p.m. at Memorial Park Funeral Home on Poplar there in the interstate. It's blocked off for 3 hours, and I'm one of 4 speakers. I don't think I'm going to talk for an hour, but I'll have a lot to share about Ron. But thank you, David and David. Let's talk fishing here. Now, we'll go straight to S.Y. Wilson, man, out in Arlington because his building is oldest building in 94 states, I think. But talk about, from your perspective with the folks coming in, and then David Beal jump in with him here. I'm looking forward to hearing you guys talk fishing now.
But, we're getting a lot of guys coming in, and they're catching a lot of fish in general. I mean, crappie fishing, bass fishing, everybody's excited. It's springtime. We're getting those consistently warm temperatures. Yeah. Everybody is on top of it, and they're really into it right now. So beginning to sell a lot of kayaks, so I can tell the weather's changed.
Absolutely.
So what about it, David Beal?
I think kayak is. I think David, I'm gonna try to get me one of these kayaks that coming up soon because I know I'm a big old fat boy. So
no, he has big old fat boy kayaks. I mean,
we got it covered.
I need something to float me,
Yeah.
But I got a guy sitting next to me. I love bass fishing. Everybody know that I'm a bass fishing guru.
Yes,
that's what I do. But this gentleman asked me, Mr. Marty asked me about crappie fishing. Now, believe it or not, crappie fishing actually catapulted me into bass fishing.
Oh, yeah. It did.
So I absolutely love crappie fishing. And right now, those crappie are on fire.
Hear that, David?
They're on fire. Typically, when the water backs up like it is now, that's the best time to catch those slab big females. Absolutely.
What about David Best?
Yep, I absolutely agree. I mean, I've got guys buying kayaks right now to go float into those back sections of Sardis and Enid and Grenada where you can't get to it real easy by wading, but you can just jump in one and wade.
Well, Marty Roberts is down there in the Oxford area. He's in the Oxford area down there.
Yeah,
Marty.
In fact.
Yeah.
David, I bought a kayak from you. You remember I brought it back last year.
Marty Roberts.
Yep. Yeah. Bought the little Frontier. Yep.
Oh, right.
What did he say?
I do remember it.
Oh, man. I'm bringing in sales now. I feel like I'm part of the team here now,
I love that kayak. He's got a great business out there.
I'll say, because you brought a Frontier. Is that what you got, Marty?
That is what I have, yeah.
Okay. And, David, you sold it to him? Okay.
Yep.
Well, he said he brought it back. He brought it back. I mean, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, I upgraded. So.
You upgraded. Oh, that's the kind David likes right there. So talk about David Beal, because you're mentioning now we got a lot of water. We've got some water.
Yes,
I mean, I know we're coming down at Reelfoot and a lot of the other places, but talk about this extra water that we're dealing with.
Well, I think that extra water actually is going to help the fishing season this year.
Okay.
Believe it or not, you don't really want a fishing season of drought. You really want a fishing season with water.
Okay.
Yeah.
These fish, they love water, especially when their temperature changes. Mm-hmm. They love to get up in there, and they can make better beds, and they got better areas to make beds when the water is up. So don't think just because the water is up, y'all out there fishing fans, make fishing bad. It actually makes fishing much greater.
All right, now, so I'm looking at next week. We got almost 90 degrees, David Best, next week. That's pretty high for we're not in May yet. I mean, what does this mean for all of us?
Yeah, I mean, what that does is just like what David says. It's going to catapult fish into making those beds up there in that shallower water. The beauty of when we have these high water areas is we can't get back to the fish as well, which is why a lot of fishermen don't like it. But the beauty of that is it's going to help the fishing in a year or 2 years down the road.
Absolutely.
Once these really good spawns, and we have a whole lot more fish to go catch.
All right, let's find
that's
out
one of the things I like about it. So
let's talk about where we're going. There's people out there saying, well, they're talking about fishing, but where am I going? I mean, so let's. Where would David Beal be going this weekend?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm going to fish a lot of backwater lakes right now.
You are?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to fish a lot of ogbos.
Okay.
Because you don't have access to ogbos when the river is down.
That's true.
But when that river gets up,
you
those
can get in there.
Oh my God, they are prime.
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, I've won a lot of tournaments like that when the water's up, 25, 32 feet. And because, you can get back off in there with your big boat.
What about you, David?
Look, I always love fishing my traditionals, Kentucky Lake, Pickwick, those places. The water level at Kentucky Lake this weekend is going to be really, really good. I mean, you're looking at 359 to 360 right now.
Okay.
So you got good water in the buckbrush. It's a great time to go flip some fish out of some bushes.
What about the state lakes, Herb Parsons and Glen Springs? I mean, that's where a lot of people that they head on the weekend to those places.
I saw a picture of a really good one that come out of Glen Springs last week. Yeah. One of my kayak guys went out there and caught that one, and I've seen some really good stringers coming out of Herb too. But we had a tournament on Graham this weekend. The lady
Graham
who won,
in Jackson,
she had two over 21 inches.
What?
So,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I mean, there's some good ones to be caught right now. I mean, this is the time.
What are we using? What are we using now? What's the best right now? You guys, tell me.
Well, I'm going with flipping jigs.
Okay.
I'm still going with flipping jigs right now.
What about that other lure that you know for?
Now I'm going there.
Okay.
And so
tell them.
That is the square bill crankbait.
That's it. Okay.
And I'm telling you, that bait, you can do a lot of searching right now, especially in that water, because like I said, when that water gets up, it's expansive.
Yeah.
And so you need to be able to cover water. Yeah. So square bill crankbait, chatterbait. You know what I'm saying? Cover that water. That's what I'm doing right now.
And, David, if anybody needs to stock up on lures, where can they go?
They can come right out here to S.Y. Wilson & Company at 120 Walker in Arlington. We've got our Arlington in April event out here on the square this weekend.
Oh, really? Okay.
Today. Yeah. So, and it'll be from 10 to 4, and there's about 100 craft vendors out here selling all kinds of stuff, from
food trucks
to all kinds of. There's going to be 6 or 7 food trucks over here.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of stuff. They've got the whole square shut down, so you got to park and you got to walk. But it's a great event.
Food trucks ever show up? Now, we didn't have no food trucks back in our days. And
they
park a food truck in my neighborhood, the tires are gone the next 2 days. Food trucks where'd they come from? Now their food trucks have been part of the language. But I wish they would have parked it at Herb Parsons out there in the parking lot when I get stuck up in the stump or something out there.
There you go.
And need that. Well, thank you, buddy. All right, tell our listeners what you open today, Saturday. What you open today for? What time?
We're open today 10 to 6, just like every Monday through Saturday, and then tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 to 5.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, David Best.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next month. Okay, man?
Thank you.
All right, David Best. And,
beautiful.
That's what we're going to feature. We'll try to get a picture of these two guys together if they ever get together. One lives in McKellar and the other lives out wherever he wants to.
My brother from another mother.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. and that's what Ron Wong always called me.
Absolutely.
It was obvious that we were both former Incredible Hulks.
I got something to say about Ron. Ron, I've actually bought my first competitive rig from Ron Wong.
Did you?
Now 23 years ago.
Really?
And I just retired that boat.
There's no telling how many people Ron Wong started in their fishing careers. And Marty, that's our late friend, Ron Wong, passed away. And
So I got a story about Ron.
You got a story about Ron? Oh, man. Okay. Tell it to me quickly.
16, and I went out. He was teaching bass fishing classes at Memphis State.
Yeah.
And that's where, it was a great class. I went out there, and he was just so knowledgeable. I just really enjoyed it. But that was early 80s.
Yeah.
So,
well, that was where he came a long way from selling potato chips and playing the saxophone in the Westwood High Band, But again, folks, that funeral we'll be letting you folks know, but it's next Friday, May the 2nd, 1 o'clock at Memorial Park Funeral Home, and I guarantee you there will be stories told And a lot of people are coming for that from all over the nation, not just coming here, from FedEx to Make-A-Wish, St. Jude, all of them like that. But anyway, I hope you enjoy our David and David, and we'll have that every month on the fourth Saturday and try to bring in I called him Hillbilly, and he's probably saying, what'd you call him Hillbilly for? I mean, we're going to have to let people know. You told me I could call you that.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Well, tell our listeners real quickly that I wasn't making anything about it.
No, he's not making fun of me.
Okay.
Actually, that's my actual nickname from baby. From a baby. So my uncles, they are outdoor guys from Mississippi.
Yeah, from Mississippi.
You know how babies are born, and I was a little frail thing.
Oh,
Believe
come
it or
on.
not, I was a little frail thing.
Would you weigh 12 pounds? I mean, come on.
Oh man, I was.
Okay.
And you know how your body got to catch up with your feet.
Oh yeah.
And so my uncles used to hold me upside down, and every time they did, my heels were longer than the front part of my feet, so they nicknamed me Hillbilly, and that's how I got my name.
And now he works for the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. He knocks on doors. Well, I'm not sure he knocks on them, but I mean, he checks out on them and everything. Thank you a lot. All right, let's take a break. We're going to call in right now. Hang on over there, Bob Ford. We got Bob Ford. He's going to talk about the Hatchie Bird Fest coming up, but we're going to talk to a young man just won $300,000. And he deserves a little time, because he's got more cousins now than he ever thought he had that are coming after his money. But let's take a break. We'll come right back and talk to Dustin Connell on Outdoors Atlanta.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. I don't know how many times I've said that over the past 25 years, but it's one of my fun things to do in what we call the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program. We got a full house in today. We got Guy Trebo, the webmaster for LarryRay.com. We got the hillbilly man himself over there, David Beal, talking fishing. And, David, you got to listen up. You got a pen over there to take notes from this guy. I mean,
absolutely.
This guy's,
I'm taking notes from
he's
DC.
Done kind of well, I think. And then Marty Roberts over there from Sporting Life Kennels. And Bob Ford, we're coming to you, Bob. Try to stay awake over there. But we're going to work in right now. He actually just said, get me in, because he wanted to be on the show. He's been a regular guest. It seems like we're his good luck charm a lot of times, and I think Dustin Connell will agree to that. But to do the show without Ron Wong is tough, folks. I can tell you that for a fact. It's been a month, and I'm still devastated by the loss of Ron. And I know, first of all, Dustin, thank you for taking time from a busy schedule. But this young man's coming off another victory in the Major League Fishing Red Crest tournament. And first of all, congratulations, Dustin. But I know that Ron Wong left a mark in professional bass fishing for a lot of you guys, didn't he, Dustin?
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me, and yeah, without a doubt, Ron, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I met Ron, right when I first started, and yeah, he's definitely gonna be missed, man. He was a big player in the fishing industry, and always had a smile on his face.
Yeah, he liked what he was doing, and I know that. He picked you to win, which doesn't surprise me because he picked you before I had a chance. Okay, all right. He always picked first. But let's talk about Red Crest. Man, what is the thing about you and Red Crest?
I don't know, man. I will say this. I hope they continue going to Alabama.
Yeah.
I agree with that, DC.
Yeah, I've won all three of those events, 3 out of the last 4.
Yeah.
And they've all been in Alabama, Eufaula, Lay Lake, and Guntersville. And I'll tell you this, all of them are super special, and but Guntersville was by far my favorite to me.
Well, I wonder if you catch 87 pounds, 11 ounces, it better be favored. I mean, you were on fire, buddy. Talk about what was working. I know you didn't make that long run, as I understand it. You kind of did, and we had the 65-minute delay due to the weather and all the other things that went on to this thing. So what was clicking?
Yeah, what was really cool and unique about, how I won that tournament was just the fact that I was catching smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
yeah.
And the final day, I had a 5-fish limit of like 25 pounds, so I was catching some really big ones.
Wow.
And, I was running 70 miles. I was fishing below Nickajack Dam, and that was really against the grain on Lake Guntersville.
Yeah.
And it was a long way up there, let me just tell you.
Well, why? What made you make that decision?
Well, I grew up fishing current at my house. I grew up on the Coosa River in Alabama, and that's just my comfort zone. I love fishing that way, and I had been fishing around the house, like fishing current, and I just knew that I couldn't compete down the lake with those locals, trying to beat them at their own game, fishing at spawning fish and chatterbait and grass flats.
There you go,
There's not really
exactly.
Yeah, there's no way to really separate yourself, so I opted to go up there and commit.
Well, it worked out for you, and I know the way you rolled in there and was able to catch that much fish, 87 pounds, 11 ounces on 27 scoreable bass. And I tell you what, Mr. Second Place had to feel bad because he did pretty good himself. But
I didn't want another 15 minutes of Wesley. Wesley finished second, and he was actually up the way also. Me and him were up the river, the only two long guys.
Oh, really?
And we were second. Yeah.
Beautiful.
How does it feel to mention your name with Kevin Van Dam and Rick Clunn?
Yeah, that's crazy to think of. I would say I still feel kind of like a rookie in this game. I mean, I'm 35, but
35.
I've been doing it for 10 years now, and I'm like,
that doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, so it's crazy to think that, and I just hope the good Lord blesses me with many more years of trying to do this, and maybe a few more wins. And I'll tell you this: after Guntersville, if I don't win another one, I'm happy where I'm at, and then this. It's just been an awesome ride the last 4 or 5 years.
That's important, DC.
Yeah, that's important, and that's David Beal listening in. He's our fishing man here. But I know I've watched the finish and everything. I've watched you on stage. You've been up there many times, but you just seem like you were very emotional with this one. I don't know if it was different or anything else. Describe what was going through your mind on that stage.
This win just hit different for me, man. It just did. It was more or less of, the first one kind of caught me off guard, and I was emotional. But this one was totally different because I have a little boy now.
Yeah, you do.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was totally different because I never lost faith during the whole week. I was literally just like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. And then when you work so hard all week long and it finally happened and it hits you like, man, I've won 3 of these. It's more of like a gratitude, like, thank you for this blessing. And I felt so undeserved of this. And I'll just tell you, that win on Guntersville was the icing on the cake for everything, and I'm just so grateful for it.
You could tell. And how old's Trent now? I mean, I've been trying to keep up. How old's Trent?
He is 1 year old. He just turned 1. We had his birthday party, and he is a wild man. He's
1 year old. Okay, so he's going to be able to rejoice in this thing. He doesn't know what his daddy does now, other than he goes fishing and comes home, with wins. Again, we're talking to Dustin Connell. He is the 2025 Major League Fishing Red Crest, presented by our good friends at Miller Tech on Lake Guntersville. March his 3rd time Major League Fishing Championship event has been held on that place, and here you go, and you do this. I know. So what does this lay for 2025 for you? What's next?
Well, I'm just going to take a few risks and maybe gamble a little bit the rest of the season. I am so when you win Red Crest, you are automatically qualified for
Yeah.
next year's.
That's
race.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm already qualified. I had a tough tournament in Florida.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure AOI is reachable.
Okay.
So I'm just going to try to take a few risks and maybe just go for it. And, you know, what's the old saying, swing for the fence. I would love to try to get another win this season and just fish freely.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think what you've done in a remarkable – you may feel older than 35, but it just seems impossible that 10 years ago the mark that you have led. And, you know, it's not just winning the tournaments, Dustin. It's what comes afterwards, representing Major League Fishing. That's a pretty big deal, buddy. And to do that with class, that's something that you learn from your upbringing. And I think you've always talked about that, right? How you got started and things along that line, because success is important, but how you handle it is even more now, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And there's a lot of pressure in this game. You know, when you're out there, you're on the road and staying gone from your family, and then, you know, the pressures of performing, and you're tired and give out, and then there's just I've learned that there's ups and downs in life in everything.
That's right. Yeah.
And I try to stay even keel. If I lose a tournament or if I win one, I'm thankful to be doing this for a living.
You got a lot of friends, and I know your sponsors have stuck with you. I've looked at those sponsors. You've had many of them, probably all 10 years that have been with you. What are some of the guys that stuck with you through all the thick and thin?
You know, I actually ended up becoming part of Rapala, Team Rapala last year.
Yeah.
And that was my good buddy Jacob Wheeler. He designed the Crush City baits, and that's what I won that tournament on.
Yes, you did.
But, Rapala Bass Pro Shop, you know, Ranger boats. I'm a Ranger this year. Love that boat. Hook Clothing, love that stuff, man.
There you go.
And then Miller Tech Batteries also, they're awesome. And,
I love them. They've been on the show with us from up there in Illinois. You know, the Amish people, if I'm not mistaken, or I don't know, but they're a great sponsor, and you've kept those sponsors, and that means so much. Ron Wong always said, don't you let him get away with asking about his sponsors. Because I don't know. I think Ron must have 400 sponsors. I don't know. Everybody was sponsored to Ron. But, hey, Dustin, thank you, buddy. Appreciate the folks at Major League Fishing, Kathy and Joe and Charity and all those people. I know Ron wanted to be there. He was there in spirit, and I just appreciate you taking time to help us celebrate with you. Okay, buddy? All right?
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we talk again real soon.
Oh, we're going to talk to you. We got your number, buddy. All right.
Dustin, let me say something to you real quick.
Wait. Now, this is David Beal. He's one of our local fishermen. He also kicks indoors for the Shelby County Sheriffs here, Dustin. But he's one of your big.
I appreciate your service, David.
He's one of your big fans. Ask him a question.
Thank you, brother. I just wanted to make a statement on one thing he said. It's very important to understand and know if you do not win another one, man, you where you are mentally in your heart and your mind. And Dustin, that's very important, brother. I got to give that to you.
Oh,
there you go.
Hey, I really appreciate it, man. I've kind of had an awakening in the last 2 or 3 months, and my life has kind of changed since I had my little boy.
That's right.
It is right there.
And I see things in a lot bigger picture now.
Yeah,
And I'm going to continue seeing the big picture and just be thankful for every day.
All right, buddy. Have a great weekend, Dustin. We'll talk to you down the road, buddy, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry. Come right back. Bob Ford, wake him up over there in the corner. Would you do that for me? We'll be right back talking about it's coming up, the Hatchie Bird Fest. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. The only thing missing today is I just expected Marty Roberts to bring a dog. I don't know. It just felt like he didn't go anywhere without a dog, you know. And I look up, and he's gone back to his car, and I think he's going to get the dog. No, he didn't bring the dog. but he'll have pictures of dogs and stuff like that. Marty, thank you for coming in from Oxford, and thank you, David Beal. We're going to talk some more with David and Marty here and Guy Trebo, but we got a special guest in. He's no stranger to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We've been on the air almost 25 years, and all my years, as I said, at the Commercial Appeal, 34 years. The last 13 is the outdoor editor, the final outdoor editor ever in the Commercial Appeal, and only fourth in 100 years at the Commercial Appeal. And if you don't know what the Commercial Appeal is, it's a website now, online, I think. But anyway, Bob Ford, thank you for being here.
Oh, Larry, it's always my pleasure to be here and to see you. Thank you for letting me.
Appreciate to see you because Bob's got a lot of things that he's accomplished in his career, whether it's with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife or whatever it might be. But right now, we're going to talk about a big event that's going on this weekend. Started yesterday in Brownsville, and that is the 12th annual Hatchie Bird Fest. And that's Bird Fest with one word, okay? They just capitalize the F in there and makes it. But that's going on. And Bob, I know this event is close to you because you're heavily involved in it. Talk about why anybody wants to come to Brownsville this weekend.
Well, if you're not used to birding is one of the fastest outdoor sports recreation in the world, particularly here in Canada and in the United States. Mm-hmm. And people are traveling all over the country to birding festivals.
Yes.
12 years ago, we talked to the director at Delta Heritage Center, and she said, Bob, why don't we start a birding festival here? And, it'll be fun for locals, but we'll also get some out-of-town folks seeing how important the Hatchie River is.
Yes.
So we kicked it off, and the format's pretty much stayed the same. It's a 3-day event. We spend a whole lot of time outdoors watching birds you can watch them from your car, you can walk gravel roads, or you can get off the road with me and go look for birds deep in the woods or in the grasslands. And we usually end up with over 100 species for 3 days.
Yeah, and the thing I like about it is FREE, right?
You got it. Now, Larry, you know me. You got to be slower than that.
Okay, I spelled it for you, Bob. Come on now.
Yeah.
David caught it.
Free.
It
is free.
It is free, and where else can you find
where
can you else find an event like this? And the Hatchie has so much history. I know Hillbilly over there in the Hatchie River. We think about that and all the Civil War things that happened on the Hatchie River. But O'Neill Lake, and it's just such an important part of the West Tennessee conservation effort.
Larry, as you well know, it's the last unchannelized, unmanipulated tributary to the Mississippi River in the entire lower Mississippi Valley.
Wow.
Which means it hasn't been channelized for flood control or anything else, and that's one of the reasons it's so important. And several years ago, in 1970, it was designated a state scenic river.
Yes,
at the time, and has maintained that. It's the longest stretch of scenic river in the state, in fact.
Wow. Well, if you think you're just going to drive through West Tennessee and not see the Hatchie, you got to be kidding. Because when I deer hunt up in Hardeman County, I know that. Or when I go to turkey hunting with Hoot. Hoot.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yes, and I know about Toon and all the other areas, and I know that the Hatchie is so important, but it's also, you've kind of tied it into Earth Day. If you think of Earth Day, you're thinking, well, that must be something from the Depression, the farmers and all like this. It's all about recognizing the importance of our heritage through. And Brownsville is very well, Sonia and all the group up there have done a great job in keeping that heritage. But you guys have brought in, I see you've got artist talk with Jenilyn Spears and her exhibit Birds and Praise, followed by a butterfly and a wildflower hike, and the opportunity to learn about Protect Our Aquifer organization. And it's downtown, and you will have two of my favorite things. Food trucks.
With the wheels still on, Larry.
With the wheels still on, yeah. So the activities going on this morning. Now let's walk it through Saturday morning. We've got things going on this morning. You've got over 200 species of birds who make their home migrating through the Hatchie National Wildlife Refuge. So not only that downtown, but you've got things for just about every day. So what's going on? And tomorrow you got some hikes going, don't you, Sunday?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's correct. That's correct. Most of today we'll spend at the Hatchie National Wildlife Refuge, which is right there in Brownsville, Haywood County, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's 12,000 acres of a variety of habitat, the river itself, bottomland hardwood forest, upland grasslands, some pasture lands, some row crops, open water at O'Neill Lake. So there's a wide variety of birds. And you mentioned 200 species, over 200 species in the Hatchie. That's over the course of the year. Of course, in the winter, we'll have a whole bunch of waterfowl.
Oh, yeah.
But what we're taking advantage of this weekend are all the migrants that are coming from the south back to their nesting grounds here in the north.
I got you.
So we'll see songbirds of all kinds, warblers, tanagers, vireos, all kinds, wood thrush, that actually have spent the last few months as far away as Brazil and Venezuela.
It's amazing.
Mexico, Central America, Caribbean.
Yeah.
And some will stop here to nest. Others will go all the way up into Canada, up into the boreal forest to nest.
Amazing.
And we won't see them again until the fall migration.
I have trouble getting to Tupelo. I don't know how these birds get what they do and how they fly and things along that. But you also have Willow Oaks Farm is involved in this too.
Oh, Willow Oaks has been our go-to nursery there personally for a plant nursery, for local landscaping. They do great at native plants, do great at flashy exotic plants. You name it, they can pretty much do it for you. But they've been hosting our Sunday afternoon talks specifically, and that's almost always about how to improve your yard or your community or your next-door greenway trail to make it better for pollinators. You know, what can you put out there that's pretty, but that blooms so that bees and butterflies can continue to get nectar and survive.
This is an educational weekend, folks, and you can go to HatchieBirdFest.com and find out all the information about it, or call the Delta Heritage Center at 731-779-9000. You know, Brownsville is one of my favorite places. You know, I was the editor of the Mid-South Hunting Fishing News for 3 years up there and spent a lot of time in Brownsville. Marty, you ever been to Brownsville?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we know that there's great eating places up there and a lot of other things going on. But take a time this weekend, folks. As Bob Ford said, it's free, and the activities, hikes, activities, all those different kind of things. Have we got that? Did we use that? You got that on there on the website, Guy Trebo?
Say again.
Do you have that listed on the website, the Hatchie Bird Fest?
Yeah, it's there.
It's there.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so
Thank
you
you.
can go to LarryRay.com and have that. But appreciate you, Bob, stopping in and being with us. And sorry you had to sit through some boring other stuff we got here.
Man, I heard you kept telling me to wake up. I was on the edge of my seat all that morning for bass fishing. I love to fish.
We keep everybody going here. At least we try to, you know. But we do the best we can for the 90 minutes that we're allowed.
Yeah. And can I say real quick, come on out today because we got these hikes going. We'll be dodging the weather a little bit. But this festival is also for anybody of any experience or capability. If you've never picked up a pair of binoculars, we can show you how to use binoculars to get the best views of birds. If you're an expert, then you got place there too, because there'll be some interesting and rare birds over the weekend, we're sure. So everybody's welcome.
All right. Yeah, beautiful country. So we're on the air, Bob, from 9 to 10:30 Saturday here in Memphis. So they took off today, going up to Brownsville and have lunch or whatever it might be. You got things you can sign up for. You can go to the Delta Heritage Center is worth going to see what it is.
Absolutely. There's a Hatchie room in the Delta Heritage Center, which is a treasure in and of itself.
It is.
You mentioned the artwork. Our artist has a display there now, a temporary exhibit that you can look at her artwork.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of things to do and do that in 12 years, and they've gotten bigger and better at everything. So, Bob, thank you. Shelby, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to talk DU next. You know, we actually, DU is here. Did you know that, Guy Trebo? It is,
It's one of the greatest things that ever happened to Memphis.
And people don't even know it. Go right by it on Walnut Grove. 40,000 people.
Beautiful building. It was one of the greatest things that ever happened here.
Well, Marty, you better get ready because Ducks Unlimited is coming up with the DU Expo in August.
Yeah.
And you better get a booth. There's 250 vendors. I don't want it to be 249. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. B&M Poles, and Ducks Unlimited.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we wrap up what we call the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program. I don't mean we're wrapping it up never to come back. As far as I know, we'll be back next week because it is First Saturday, and we'll be talking to Roger Shields. He is the TWRA Turkey Program Manager. And we're going to talk West Tennessee tourism with Marty Marbury, even though she's not with West Tennessee Tourism anymore. How about that, Guy Trebo?
I love it.
I love it. Marty might be in the studio. We might get her to dance in the studio. But
well, if I could find that marching music.
Yeah, we can't find it. Cha-cha-cha. But anyway, David Beal, thank you for being here. And he's still got on his uniform. He's got to go kick in a couple of doors. I gave you my address if you wanted to because I can't get one of the doors open. But anyway, and Marty Roberts. Marty, I know this next segment as we close out today's show is going to interest you and other folks out there because can you remember the old Expo days, Marty?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, was that not a happening? I mean,
yeah, that was cool.
I mean, we all it was an amazing event. The only problem was it was in the heat of July and it got kind of hot out there.
It got very hot.
But now we've got Logan Nevins on the line with us. He is the Ducks Unlimited manager for national events. And Logan, we're going to bring this baby back this year, and we're going to make sure everybody's going to be cool. Right, Logan? I mean,
absolutely. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us. Let's talk about the return of the Expo, coming back to Memphis, what we would call the DUX. It's a Ducks Unlimited Expo set to return to Memphis August 1st through 3rd at the Memphis Renaissance Convention Center. And I know these are going to be busy times for you, Logan, and your crew out there. So talk about what this event means to be coming back to Memphis.
Yeah, it means a lot to us, from Ducks Unlimited standpoint, Memphis being our hometown and bringing this event back to our backyard was something that we've been working on for a while now. And when we had the opportunity to bring it back, it was game on from the beginning, and we're really excited to bring it back here. There was rich history of the Great Outdoors Festival back in the day, and now we're bringing back kind of a new spin on things here with DUX, and we're looking forward to being back.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know when DU came to Memphis? How long was it?
I believe, 1992 or 93.
I was there when Billy Donovan brought the shovel out and turned the dirt. I was there, and everybody said, why in the world are they coming to Memphis from Chicago? Well, they didn't want to wear coats anymore. They wanted to get some warmer weather down here. And DU is now such a fixture in our community. I was just talking to my webmaster here, Guy Trebo. There's no telling how many people drive by that Ducks DU flag every day on Walnut Grove and don't know what's back there. Well, if you haven't been back behind the mounds and see what's back there, it's a crown jewel of Memphis and Shelby County. I mean, I'm sure, Logan, you would agree with that. So,
yeah, absolutely. With this being our national headquarters and, the rich history of waterfowling and everything in this region. It's great that we're here and a lot of people stop by and come tour the office and see all the old exhibits and stuff that we have in here. It's a great home for us for sure.
I know, Marty, when I go there and I look back and I think Nash Buckingham is still there, or Chubby Andrews is back in the corner looking at me, and Boo Whop or whatever it is, the shotgun. Bo Whoop and the shotgun. Marty knows all of that from his background with his dad, Ace Roberts, and things along that, Logan. But this event here, 225 vendors from 42 states and Canada, this can be an eye-opening thing right for us. I mean, not only just for those of us that love the outdoors, but the economy of Memphis, right? I mean, this is a big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to bring a lot of like-minded waterfowlers and outdoor enthusiasts to the Memphis area. We're excited to work with the Memphis tourism and all the folks downtown to bring it to Memphis and bring a lot of economic impact to the region. And we've got a lot of great sponsors and vendors, starting with our presenting sponsor, Purina Pro Plan.
Yeah, Purina Pro.
A great corporate partner of ours that we've had for years.
Yeah.
As well as, local companies like Shin Gear. They're a Memphis-based company. They're a big part of the show. Yeah. And others like, Dive Bomb Industries, Mossy Oak, Drake, Higdon. I mean, the list goes on and on of all the sponsors for sure.
And I know that when you mentioned that Purina Pro Plan, are you familiar with that, Marty? I mean,
it's great food.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say when you got
great
a kennel,
food.
I hope you know what Purina is.
Oh yeah, no, that's some of the best.
And when you hear of an event like this, Marty, give me your observation of how much you looking forward to this. What does it perk your interest?
Yeah, it does, and I have to say, I'm glad they moved it inside.
I wanted to ask you about that, Logan, because 150,000 square feet. Talk about the move inside. I mean, that really for August, I know, right?
Yeah, definitely. August is one of those months where everybody is trying to stay cool, and having an outdoor event in August is not too friendly in terms of attendance. So. We moved this event. It's an all indoor show, so there's not the hands-on activities, but it's not going to be lacking any kind of excitement or anything like that. The vendors that we have, you mentioned over 225 from all across the country. They're going to have all the latest products that you can
I can't wait.
Get for the upcoming hunting season, and it's perfect time for that. It's right before waterfowl and dove season and everything kicks off, so it'll be perfect for that.
How about $15, folks, per day for adult? Kids free, 12 and under. So you didn't price yourself out of the ballpark either, Logan. I think that's a very conventional price for us out there, to $15 a day. And at the same time, you thought enough of this, and we all know the National Leadership Conference. Why don't you just throw this in with it too? I mean, that was a win-win for you guys too, wasn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Having National Leadership Conference kind of in conjunction with DUX is going to bring our volunteer leadership from all across the country that work with our regional director staff, fundraising staff, to put on all the different events that everybody enjoys across the country. They're all going to be there as well to have their conference and then interact with vendors and the general public and everything for DUX. So there's a lot of really good things happening. We've never had this kind of conjunction before. So,
and tell our listeners where they can get more information.
Yeah, visit us at duckexpo.com. Tickets are on sale now, and we'll be constantly updating that with scheduled events and different things that we're going to be promoting throughout the summer leading up to the event. So check us out there at duckexpo.com, and we'll hope to see you here in Memphis.
Okay, and we'll be having Logan back on the Outdoors of Larry Ray as many times as we can. We've got all that information will be posted on LarryRay.com also. Logan, thank you, buddy, for being with us. Have a great weekend, and we'll be talking to you real soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thank y'all.
All right.
See you later.
All right, Logan Nevins, DU manager for national events. And I cut my teeth on that expo back in those days. And the Dog Village, Marty, you know that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, David Carrington and all the guys out there. And I was reporting from out there because I was with the Commercial Appeal at that time.
Yeah.
And, of course, it was a great event, but it was just so hot.
It was the first of its kind, I think.
It was the first of its kind. Of course, they've been in Texas for a while. It gets a little warm in Texas too, in Fort Worth, I think. So I can imagine this. So again, let's check around the room again. David, leave the folks with something. Where to go this weekend? Where are we going fishing wise?
So what y'all might want to consider? Do not X out pond fishing. I wanted to say that, yes.
Okay.
Because, we got a lot of bank anglers.
Yeah.
And people don't have boats or kayaks, for that matter, Marty. And it's like, I would love it. I'm going to get me a kayak. I'm telling you, I'm fishing out of one of the things. But
he's got 3 lakes down there, Okay,
okay, cool. We might have to do something.
Ponds, yeah.
And pond fishing, for you bank anglers, I don't never leave y'all out.
That's right.
Go out there. And the water may be backed up in your ponds, which is still good, but go out there and fish That's gonna be some good stuff this upcoming weekend.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
so
straight
fish and
from
ponds,
David Beal.
bank fishing.
Bank fishing, okay, and that's not down at any of the banks that I use with my money. It's a different kind of bank, but and of course, Marty, I know your folks, your area down there, and give us an address again and information about your place.
Yeah, yes, Sporting Life Kennels, Oxford, Mississippi.
Okay.
We're at 119 County Road 415.
So you right out of Oxford?
Right out 10 minutes from town.
Okay.
SportingLifeKennels.com is the website.
How'd you get that name? Where'd that name come from?
Man, I just,
You
I
thought
had an
and thought
epiphany.
about it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. I mean,
Yeah.
I ask questions like that. I want to know.
I don't even know. It just hit me.
It just hit you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of liked it. So.
Sporting Life Kennels. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but we specialize in what I say, calm but ready. Lab puppies that are just. I think they're just incredible. Family dogs, incredible hunters.
So how long do you keep a puppy?
So we keep them for the most part until they're 7-8 weeks old, and they go. And then the majority of them really come back to us to train.
Okay. Yeah. At what age do they come?
About 6 months, 7 months old, and then we also will raise some puppies.
Okay.
And I put them in foster homes, and they raise them in the foster homes. And
Foster
then
homes
and then
for
we,
dogs. Yeah.
they come back to us, and we train them and sell them, and we call those started dogs. So
Started dogs. Okay.
got those, and we're either training or just about every day.
Well, just go to his website because he's got a lot of cool stuff on there. It's just an amazing thing, and I know there's a lot of other people that do what Marty does, but they don't love Marty as much as I do. Okay, so I've got an inside with Marty Roberts and his family, and kind of raised me when I wasn't much. They said, "You're the outdoor edge commercial appeal. How'd they get you?" Well, nobody else wanted it. I mean, But
hey,
anyway,
let me also say that our Instagram is Sporting Life Kennels on Instagram
There you go.
and Facebook.
Okay.
And we do a lot of films and little short videos.
It's
and
cool. It's cool.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So.
Let me tell you about next week real quickly. It'll be first Saturday, which means Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith, the one and only pun master, Gene Smith, will be with us. Hopefully, Guy can be back with us. We're going to talk pro turkey hunting with Roger Shields. He is the TWRA Turkey Program Coordinator. And again, Marty Roberts will give us a West Tennessee tourism. That's all on next week's Outdoors.
Marty
Marbury.
Marbury, you said Robert.
I did. Well, I get too many Martys.
I mean, hey, I
mean,
can
you're
talk
welcome
about,
to do that.
I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I'd be happy to,
Well, that's my only mistake in 90 minutes. Okay, you caught it at the end. Let's take a break. No, we're out of here. All right, this is Larry Ray reminding you. We'll talk to you next week, but I always say it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else? God bless the USA.